Hey everybody, welcome once again to our Low on Health game video review where I go some of the games I've been playing recently. This particular video is going to cover Infamous 2 and Mortal Kombat. That's it, Mortal Kombat. I know it's one of those name thingies. Anyway, first off, let's go ahead and discuss Infamous 2, which is one of the only other games I played on the PS3 this year, which now makes, I think, 3. Uncharted, Yakuza, and now this. So that's 3 games on the PS3. Now, Infamous 2 is, of course, the sequel to Infamous 1, and, of course, Infamous 1 came out right when Prototype did. 2 games set in an open world of people with superpowers. That time I gave Prototype the nod because it was more fun and visceral. Now Infamous 2, I had the same problems I had with Infamous 1, in which case the climbing mechanic is just too clingy. You want to be traveling around and constantly sticking to stuff, or you'll be gliding around and then you'll stick on. It's just, for me, traversing that world is not fun. You kind of get like a grappling hook type mechanic later on, but it still doesn't make any good. Overall, I mean, the game sounds great. It has DTS, which a lot of games don't have. Uncharted is like one of the other games that does have DTS, and the first Infamous did too, and I like that. The overall visual quality, though, I don't know, it just didn't seem that good at all. I mean, it was fine. It's serviceable and it's good. It's just not as great as I expected from other like PS3 games, which I usually consider PS3 has mostly better the graphics. But you know, whatever. Overall, the game's okay. I mean, the mission structures, it's once again, I didn't really enjoy any of the characters particularly, even though I thought the story was better, and I kind of like the whole alignment system, good and bad, and kind of at the very end, it's like you can choose the bad point or the good point, but if you want to do the bad point, you have to go back and play a bunch of side missions and get your evil karma up because you can't choose that, and I like that. I like being kind of forced to choose the good karma because that's how I play the game. I hate when the game's at the very end some bullshit little like, choose the ending that you want, A, B, or C, and it's like no matter what you did throughout the game, it doesn't matter, but it should always matter because that's the whole point of it. But it was okay game. I enjoyed it. The story was okay. You know, I just didn't like the combat and gameplay that much. But that's just same old, same old. Next thing I'm going to talk about is going to be Mortal Kombat. First and outright, I'll mention I'm not a big fighter fan. The last game I did was Blue Blaze on the 360, and I kind of got into that more because of the anime vibe. But I've just never really got the dexterity down to do combos or figure out, you know, just kind of the fighting systems in general. But I wanted to give Mortal Kombat a nice try, and I did, and despite even playing it on the beginner setting and just going through the story mode, I just couldn't get into it. And that's mainly my fault, I know, but I always like to try as many games as possible and expand my gaming portfolio, in which case I tried this and just couldn't really get into it. But, that being said, the game looks good. I really like what they did visually with it. The X-ray moves are awesome, the backgrounds, character models are all good. The story, like I mentioned before, is actually pretty decent. And like the overall design is good. It looks like they have a lot of unlockables. You basically earn credits for everything you do, and you can kind of do that to unlock different costumes and stuff. And I think that's really cool. So, for Mortal Kombat fans and fighter fans, it's probably a really good game. But just like Street Fighter, and I haven't gotten the new Marvel vs. Capcom. I probably will next year. But I just really can't get into those games that much. But still, a good, solid game, and fighter fans will probably like it. So, other than that, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.